knocked loose. White dive on it.
This is twice now the Celtics have been first to the floor. They try to save with Horford. Unbelievable.
Boston first to the floor. So good.
Brown fakes, fires up the three. Bang! Tatum dives on the floor. Everybody dives. Jaylen Brown with the flush. Blocked by Porzingis. He's doing it all. Tatum spinning, driving, layup. Got it. Washington drives. Blocked by White. Oh, what a block from Derek White.
Wayne Spooney here, first to the floor. I'm joined by my guy, Jake Eisenberg. How's it going, Jake?
We're doing good. Where are we? We're in autumn. The winds have calmed. The ocean swells are picking up. And that is the telltale sign that we're moving closer and closer to the playoffs. April, May, June. The ocean's changing. The intensity has fully waned in the NBA as we ramp back up to the playoffs in a week. I'm good. How are you, man?
I'm doing good. So are you telling me the swells are larger in autumn? So this is
Autumn,
when cone lords are made?
That's right. The cone lords come out of hibernation as summer ends and winter begins. Autumn and
Beautiful.
winter. It's beautiful, yeah. Deep into the cones, brother.
Let's go. All right, so we did have a Celtics game yesterday, I guess technically. Magic won 96-76. Was this the most meaningless game we've had this year?
I think this was the one.
Yeah.
This was the signifier that the season is over with the entire top six going out. So, yeah, I mean, I still had fun watching it,
Yeah.
I'll say, but it was kind of brutal at the same time. Like, obviously, one of the boys to win, and Scal on the broadcast was like kind of surprised that they lost the game. And I'm like, I get that, these guys were going to play hard, but dude, this is a tough lineup that you rolled out there. I love Pritchard.
Yeah.
We love Cornett. We love Sam Hauser. We love Baylor Scheierman. But I mean, this is the full Magic lineup. Like, they needed to win this game to secure the 7th seed, and then they can kind of like cruise for the next couple games, so they can actually make sure they get out of the play-in. It only mattered because it ruined our incredible road performance this season. So we went from like having the second best road scoring differential in the history of the NBA, and we dropped from 10.15 to 9.41 in a single game, which is incredibly impressive in so many games that you've played on the road. Shout out Sean Grandy for the numbers here. So you're now not going to finish the season as the best road record, but I think you can still say that you are the best road team, considering that the reason that you fell out of this conversation is because you rolled out a lineup that started who you started, and Miles Norris played, who maybe that's actually a good thing for the Boston Celtics. Maybe the sad thing is that Jordan Walsh played, and if Jordan Walsh played, then the other team was probably feeling pretty good about themselves. But yeah, I would say this is number one in the power rankings of least meaningful games we've played this season.
Yeah, I will say if we lost to the Knicks, I would have had that one number one, but because we won,
Correct.
That one is not meaningless. It matters a lot. Yeah, man, like when your top six just doesn't play, like our guy, Miles Norris, longtime fans of Miles Norris, who I call Moochie Norris in my head nonstop, 19 minutes for him. We'll get to him a little bit, but yeah, like this meant a lot for the Magic and literally nothing for the Celtics. And it's just fun seeing these guys get some real legitimate run, especially like Walshy, who we've not seen a ton of this year and still only got 9 minutes this game. But just seeing Pritchard like spread his wings, run the offense, run everything through Luke Cornett is always really fun. He had a really nasty like handoff action with Pritchard, or Pritchard curled it and then had like a straight cut right down Main Street, and he hit him for a wide open layup. So stuff like that, seeing what these guys can do when they're empowered to just like be the offense, is really, really fun. And it is nice. Like, I still can't fucking help myself though, because when they pushed it down to 8, They might even have got it to 7 at one point, and then the Magic go on this big run. I'm like, what the hell, guys? Like, come on. Like, I can't step back and be like, this means absolutely nothing. I don't care now, but during the game, I see like Franz Wagner's janky-ass jumper go down. I'm like, this is bullshit, man.
Bro, did his jumper change? Because I can't say that I've watched a ton of Magic since they kind of fell apart. It looks really different to me all of a sudden.
He always like brought it low and like rose up in sort of an awkward way, but now it's like a hitch to it on its way up. It's like Charles Barkley's golf swing, man. It is ugly as hell because he came out shooting the ball like 40% till he got that oblique injury, and then it just fell apart for him, and it just does not look the same. He doesn't really look confident, even though he made a couple last night, but I don't know. Yeah, this was 2 for 4. There you go, Franz. Nice work, buddy.
Sub 30% on the season again. So 29.5% for Franz this year, 28% last year, and I'm the Franz guy. And obviously, he was on this insane run before he got injured. I think you're gonna have to see what the Magic look like next year to really get a feel for, because it feels like a lost season. And I know coming towards a play-in, we've been endlessly arguing about who we prefer in the play-in spot in the Discord between the Magic, the Hawks, the Heat, and the Bulls. And like, my heart has been telling me I don't want to see the Magic because they're big, Paolo, Franz, like they have this defensive reputation, and their defense is still like statistically been pretty good on the season. But like, the fact that they only scored 96 points against this Celtics team yesterday, and maybe there's a little bit of like the Doc Rivers theory where everyone's out for the Celtics, so the Magic don't go balls to the walls. But their offense has been so bad for the entirety of the decade, really. But especially this season, and continues to be garbage. And I don't think that was an outlier last night. So I actually feel better about playing the Magic in the playoffs now, because I just don't think they're going to be able to score enough to keep up at all. I didn't even think their defense was that good last night either, honestly.
They really missed Suggs at the point of attack. He was the head of the snake defensively for them, and they're still second per cleaning the glass, but I just think the way we're built, where we can really exploit Paulo defensively by getting him out on the floor, having to guard Jason Tatum. There's nowhere to hide him. And like, I kind of think Franz is sort of an overrated defender. Like he's like Trey Murphy to me, where people think like he makes like he like gets steals and blocks and he's big and he looks the part, but he's not elite on that end. He's like pretty good. So I am not scared of their defense, and the fact that they had a pretty good shooting night. I mean, they were up around 40% for most of the game and then missed some late to drop it down to 36, but they had a good shooting night on 45 attempts, which is a shitload for them, and they still didn't break 100 against the Celtics fucking G League team. Give me the Magic, man. Like, them or the Heat are the two, because I don't think either of those teams can break 100 against us.
I came out feeling the exact same way. I was like, the math just doesn't math in this matchup. And you said it right. Like they were kind of scorching. Like Cole Anthony couldn't miss. They were hitting every corner three. Even Paolo was making a couple of threes. Yeah, and it did level off late. But honestly, I don't even know how the game was a 20-point game. It should have been a 40-point win.
Yeah.
Like the Celtics shot 39% from the field, 7 for 40 from the 3-point line, 17.5%. Like, they had 9 turnovers in the first quarter, and they kind of actually survived that awful turnover stuff. But yeah, I came out of this game being like, sheesh. And KCP, like, played 7 minutes last night. I didn't know if he got injured or didn't come back in, but he didn't do anything while he was out there. But that's been kind of like one of the more disappointing signings. But I honestly think that has more to do with the Magic than it does to do with KCP. But I'm not going to pretend like I'm tapped in with the KCP situation. This has been a team that's been pretty much off my radar from a league pass perspective for the majority of the year. But they did exactly what their reputation is. Paolo, like 6 for 17. I just don't see it like the top 5, top 10 guy that a lot of people see with him. He needs to be so much more efficient. He needs to be so much more Tatum-y with his all-around game, and he's not. So I don't really see what his path is to being a top 10 guy. Granted, he's still like 22. So
Yeah.
like that's probably
That's
the
the
path.
argument.
And it's this is a lost season thing. But for this season, this playoff matchup potentially, I actually am hoping that they win. I'd much rather see these guys in the Hawks. Like Trae
100%.
Young, Dyson Daniels, that's a professional team. Like I know Trae Young can get it done in the playoffs to some degree, whereas I like this matchup now.
Yeah, I think Paulo's problem is like Tatum is like at the largest you can be and still be a legitimate primary ball handler. Like if once you get bigger than Jason Tatum, it's just too hard. Like guys can get into your handle too much. You generally don't have the quickness or the sort of the wiggle off the dribble to be a primary ball handler. And Paulo's just too big to be a primary ball handler. And Franz is kind of the same way. Like those two together, like I get the vision, but neither of them can shoot, so it doesn't totally make sense. And they kind of just get in each other's way because they want to do the same things and operate from the same spaces. So I wonder what Paulo would look like if he had like a legitimate primary ball handler next to him and he could do secondary stuff or be the roll man. And like if he was able, like if they had a guy who could draw two on the pick and roll and hit him in the short roll, he would be absolutely unstoppable in that role. But like if you're a top 5, top 10 guy, you should be the guy getting the double and making that pass. So I love Paulo. I think he is going to be really, really good, but I was never on he's going to be one of the best players in the NBA. I was like, he's probably going to be an all-star, maybe sneak into some all-NBA teams here or there. So it just looks really ugly. And I wonder if KCP, it's like when you're the only guy who can make threes out there, like he's not going to get open shots because they'll just dedicate a defender. Like basically we're just not going to let this guy shoot and we'll leave other people open to let him. It's a horrible offensive ecosystem for someone like KCP who has like nothing else to his game. So their offense is just fucking putrid. Yeah. So I'm so with you. The Hawks, they're up 25 on Brooklyn right now. I am way more worried of the Hawks than any of these other teams in that range for sure.
Yeah, and worried is probably a strong word to describe how I feel about the Hawks.
Yeah.
Like you're always going to have Trae Young out there, and there's no Jalen Johnson, but I think Dyson Daniels guarded Jason Tatum better than anyone else I saw this season. Like I don't think that's really controversial. I saw some Knicks fans lauding OG Anunoby's defense on Jason Tatum, and I feel like we watched a different game, kind of. Which is interesting, but. Yeah, I think the Hawks are clearly a slightly worse opponent that you want to deal with in the playoffs. Yeah, like looking at Paolo's, even his catch and shoot numbers, he's been below 34% 2 of the 3 seasons. And last season, he was 36 on catch and shoots, which is still not good. And so it's like like him being Tatum essentially, like Tatum's just able to do so many things on and off the ball. Obviously, comparing people to Tatum, I think at this point is unfair. Because most people don't develop in the way that he does and don't have the broad skill set where he's like a B+, A- in like every single category. And eventually people will realize that like that's very valuable and that they can't hope that their guys are just going to be better than Jason Tatum and everything.
One of these days, Jake, they'll finally realize that's valuable to have all strengths, to be a perfect basketball player.
Yeah, imagine that. What record do you think the team that played last night for the Celtics would have? Like, would they be in the Jazz? Would they be an East play-in team? What do you think? I'm throwing out the options.
Oh, no way, dude. I mean, 15 wins?
Yeah.
Maybe. Like, your best player is Peyton Pritchard, who we love, Peyton Pritchard. Who's your second best player? Hauser?
Yeah.
Cornette?
Dude, that Hauser behind the back dribble, pull up three.
On the wing?
Crazy. Yeah. But yeah, I think Hauser, Luke, and Pritchard as your big three. I love them.
Torrey Craig as a starter. Oh my God.
Well, firstly, that big three off your bench is really good.
It's
big
amazing.
Three as your starters Not good. Oh boy, Torrey Craig, have you and Stephen from the Discord been proven aggressively correct over the past couple of weeks here? And yesterday was a big example of why it's like, yeah, if he actually has to play minutes, you're in trouble, dude. Like the decision is, if he doesn't have like a very simple shoot the open threes, or he at least he plays hard. I'll give him that. But like offensively, like when he's asked to do more stuff, it was really bad. And it may still have been, at least he's trying out there and being aggressive as opposed to Jordan Walsh. But yeah, that was bad. So I'm with you though. I think that they would be challenging the Jazz for the worst record in the NBA. I think that's not even a question. Like the Wizards have 17 wins, but like they got some guys. They got up and down the roster.
Yeah, I mean, is Jordan Poole better than Pritchard?
Oof.
It's a close one.
Oof. I was a bit disappointed with Pritchard yesterday. I got to be honest. Yeah. Like, I know it's a tough spot, and obviously he has no talent around him, but I thought he missed Cornette a bunch on like slipping, because the Magic was switching a lot early in the game, and I thought Cornette did a great job slipping. And Pritchard's, you just got to fire it. And we're going to talk about Baylor, but that quarterback brain, I don't think Pritchard has that Nebraska quarterback brain. And
chuck it.
Pritchard as your primary initiator without the talent out there, obviously a problem, but I just think he's a half a second slow with the decision making, and when you're not creating advantages in the way that Pritchard's lack of athleticism leads him to not be able to create, that can get you into some really tough offensive spots.
Yeah, I think it's size too, right? The Magic switch it, they slip. It's really hard for him to pop that pass over the top to Luke, whereas Baylor, he's a legit 6'5", or like Tatum, it's just so easy for him against a big Magic team who just kind of can take that pass away from Pritchard. So he definitely missed him. On the Poole question, I will say if I wanted one of them to come off the bench on a championship team, I'd rather have Peyton Pritchard. If I want to win 30, 25 games in the NBA and he's my best player, I'd rather have Poole, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? I think he can just handle a larger offensive load, and we're not going to be good defensively either way. But Pritchard's definitely a better defensive player. What's that?
I think you're screwed either way, obviously.
Yeah.
I think just as like a fan, I don't know, maybe having Pritchard try on defense and like play hard, that would make it less painful. It's like, at least look how hard he's trying. Look how hard he's trying out there. Whereas Poole's like pulling up from God knows where, and like, I swear he prioritizes looking cool like 2 to 3 times per game.
Oh yeah.
Which like leads to him ruining a possession, which I think over an 82 game season would drive me completely nuts. So I think I would lean Pritchard because I think you could be right, and that you might get 4 or 5 more wins. But I think just for my own sanity, I think I would choose Pritchard.
That's fair.
So I think that's fair.
Well, hold on, really quick. I need to talk about Torrey Craig, bro.
Okay, go.
He is one of the worst point of attack wing defenders I have ever seen.
So much worse than I thought it was going to be.
He had one possession against Franz. Franz didn't even like make a move. He just went around the pick, and Craig's like stumbling backwards. Like, what do you do? He is so bad at the point of attack, and he looks like he should be good at it, so he tricks people, and it is just awful. And watching him put the ball on the floor, this man has been in the NBA for like a decade, and it's just like, he looks like Walshy, and Walshy looked bad, but Walshy's 21 years old. He's not a 32-year-old Torrey Craig. So if Torrey Craig's role is, if you get the ball and you are open, shoot it. If you are not, immediately pass it to the closest teammate, he will be fine. Otherwise, man, holy hell, is it brutal. Like, I just don't like his game at all.
Yeah.
That's really what it boils down to. So he was brutal.
Yeah. But it's funny though when you like you shrink the role and you can get it to purely just like shoot open threes and be tall, then it's like he can become like a slightly valuable just because in theory he is a 38% 3-point shooter. But as soon as he has to play more minutes and that role scales up even a little bit, it's like, oh boy, this could be one of the worst players I've watched in the NBA this season. And I feel pretty confident about that. Which we which we knew in general with the buyout guy, but tall, can shoot, and jump high.
There's a reason he
Get
was a
you some
buyout
money.
guy with that
Yeah.
skill set. You know what I mean? Compare Hauser has less athleticism than Craig, I think, pretty considerably. And watching him make decisions against closeouts is like night and day. He is so much better at it than Torrey Craig. It's ridiculous. And that's where like all the value of a shooter comes, is like you can't close out hard on him because he will punish you. He might do it in a weird way. It might be just moving the ball to the right guy. It might be Samello mid-range jumpers. And Craig, it's like you can just close out hard on him and he'll fucking pass it to you.
His brain just goes, yeah,
No shoot. Uh-oh.
Oh, man. Yeah. So, yeah, you could take a victory lap on Torrey Craig, I think.
Thank you. I was way wrong on
totally fair.
Baylor, so I'm 1 for 2 here.
All right. We'll see. And for everybody waiting for the Baylor section, we're going to do a deep dive on Baylor very shortly here. It's pretty sad times for people. We asked this question on the last episode, Jordan Walsh or Baylor Scheierman, and I was already paddling on my makeshift raft over.
Have you
to
arrived at Scheierman
Scheierman
Island?
Yeah, we've set up the shelter. We're scavenging for berries. Yeah, we're off to a good start here. It's sad times. There's a hurricane has ripped through Walsh Island. The good news is it's early in the civilization's existence still, so there's plenty of time to recover. But he got benched for Miles Norris yesterday and absolutely deserved it. And Miles Norris came in and played better.
I thought Miles Norris was like really solid, man. Like he can move his feet okay. He doesn't really know where to be defensively right now, but like he's kind of a good athlete for his size, and that jumper is pure.
Oh,
like
dude,
it looks
he can
really
Woo!
good. Yeah. Like I don't know if he
splashed.
can. Dude, yeah, that shit looks pure. And I love like a 6'10" dude with a pure jump shot just because it looks so cool, like coming out. So I thought Norris was legitimately interesting to the point where like I want to see him a little bit more. Like, what do you got? 2 games left here?
Yeah.
1 game? 2 games left. I want to
Two big games against the Charlotte Hornets, baby.
Yeah, buddy. I want to see him play like 30 minutes in one of those games. Just see what it looks like, Joe, because a dude with that size, because, you know, we're talking about Torrey Craig. He can shoot and he's got good size. Norris is good, 3 inches taller than Torrey Craig is, and it looks like maybe a better athlete. So play Norris. We just got to find wings, depth wings, and just shuffle through them. It looks like we probably have one with Baylor. My guy Drew Peterson looked lost defensively. I thought he looked fine offensively. I actually thought he looked quite comfortable at times offensively, but defensively he had some really bad moments, which worries me against the Magic. But man, Norris was like he might have just taken Walsh's job here. But go ahead. Go ahead.
Again, he's a bit older, but. Dude, Walsh, we love you.
Shoot the fucking ball.
Everyone, Joe was so mad when he passed up that shot in the corner and led to a JD Davidson like air ball eventually. That was really bad. But it's like, dude, this is game 79, 80, whatever it is. We've benched the entire top 6 before the game has even started. We've wrapped up the 2 seed. The stakes could not be lower. This is the time. This is your time to show something. No one's going to care even if you play bad. What's going to be worse is if you go out there and you just let the game pass you by.
Yeah.
On both ends. And that's exactly what happened. And I get still young. I'm like not going to be completely out, but it's been pretty disappointing this season. And he was deservedly benched for Norris, who came in and was confident. Let it fly. And I get it. The skill set's different. Like, clearly Norris is a shooter. Like, his shooting numbers in the G League were fantastic. High volume, high accuracy, pull up threes. Like, he's ready to kind of go. But you have to play like that. Baylor Scheierman has come in. And again, older guys. But hand up, one of the biggest Jaden Springer haters in the game right now. At least when he was out there, you could feel him trying to do stuff. And it's making me sad to see Jordan Walsh just look completely terrified out there.
Yeah, I thought we had. We remember when he got like that weird couple of games where he saw some minutes. I thought he was
Yeah,
starting to really look comfortable at that point, and we were
agreed.
like, play him more. Let's see what this really looks like with some serious minutes. He didn't. I wonder if that like sapped his confidence or something because he looks just low on confidence. And you're right, the game passing him by is like the exact phrase. He is a complete passenger out there. He is not asserting his will on either side of the ball, really. I mean, I thought defensively, like he looked okay-ish, but like if you're gonna be a complete fucking zero offensively, you need to be better than okay-ish defensively against a bad Orlando Magic offense. So it was really, really disappointing. I hope Joe gives him another shot against against Charlotte rather, and he goes out there, grabs the bull by the horns, and starts firing up some shots. Because I don't care if you go 0 for 10, dude. Like you need to get shots up, you need to get your confidence back, and you need to let the game slow down because it's way too fast for him before. And I thought we had already got past that step,
Yeah.
and we've regressed, which is disappointing.
He dropped that alley oop. I know it was a kind of a tough catch, but it was like that fast break and Pritchard threw it up there. But it's like, can you just please make a play? Please make a play. That would have made everyone feel so much better. Would have looked sick. Just kind of dropped it. Could have been a slightly better pass. I get it. But yeah, the Bolshy stuff's sad. But I'm with you on Norris. Like, very intriguing archetype.
Yeah.
Like, he's legit 6'9", 6'10". Like, clearly can shoot it. The foot speed. I can see maybe if we get more minutes, why he's not in the NBA. Because if he can actually guard a little bit, I'm not sure why he wasn't in the NBA already. Because he's 6'10" and can like shoot on high volume. So I'm assuming we're going to find out why at some point. And if not, then we nailed it. Good job by Brad. But I'm guessing there's going to be another shooter drop at some point. But yeah, I'm with you on Norris. I thought he came in and was like, "This is my spot now, brother." Like, I could see them giving him the last spot. Honestly, like in a pinch. I know we talked about it being JD, but it's like, I don't know, man. The slightly older guy who's huge and can shoot it. Maybe he's the guy.
I would so much rather it be Norris than JD Davison. Like JD also looks like a deer in the headlights in these NBA games. So like just being tall is more valuable in the NBA. If neither of these guys are going to play, I'd rather have the tall shooter than the short playmaker guard. So that's a no-brainer for me if it's between those two. Might be Drew just because he's been around a little bit longer than Norris, but we'll see.
I'd just be like, if of guys I'm worried about losing, I wouldn't say I'm necessarily worried about losing any of them, but I think I'd be the saddest if like someone else, like the Warriors, picked up Norris somehow, whatever. But yeah, JD Davidson being literally the MVP of the G League and whatever he did last night is like, fuck, man. The gap is just so wide between the G League and the NBA, clearly, which is, it is what it is. All right, Spoonie, let's get into the game time right here before we hit this Baylor Scheierman deep dive.
Alrighty. There is nothing better than NBA basketball. A few weeks ago, I took a flight back up to Boston, had a few too many drinks, and got to watch my favorite Celtic, Baylor Scheierman, tear apart the Nets. And you know how I got in the door? Game Time. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. It was super easy to get tickets. I just hopped on the app, searched for the Celtics game, and then I was shown all the available tickets and all the best deals right on my phone. Their curated deals makes it even easier to find the best seats at the best prices. And maybe my favorite feature is the seat view. It's like you're in the garden looking exactly where your seat is going to be, what the court looks like from your seat right on the app. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CLNS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game Time. Game Time rules. It's really awesome. I literally use it all the time to go to WVU games. It is super easy. Great prices. So definitely check out Game Time for sports and concerts, comedy, all that good stuff. All right, Baylor, Jake, take us away.
All righty, baby. Baylor the Scheierman. Brad Stevens appears to have done it again. I legit thought they should have been running the offense through Baylor the whole time. Like, he was legitimately the only one that could consistently get the defense in rotation. I thought so. I think I was like, we should start with some big picture numbers stuff, and then we've got some players to break down. Yeah, don't worry, Steve Z in the chat. The Baylor Love Fest is about to begin. So Baylor yesterday, 15-5-5, 6-14, 1 for 7 from 3. So on the season, he's played 338 minutes after last night, averaging a cool 3.9, 1.9 and 1 on 51.8% true shooting. Very bad, obviously. 11, 6 and 3 per 36. On the shooting numbers, though, the sample's just so small to, I think, draw any huge declarations still. So he's 27 from 23 from 70 from 3 on the season to make it 32.9%. If he makes 4 more threes, he's at like 39%. Catch and shoots, he's 33.3, 17 from 51. If he makes 3 more, he's at 39.2. I still feel good about his shooting. It feels like he's taken a lot of tough ones because a lot of the time he's been out there with like these other guys. And last night he had to take some late shot clock stuff when there was nothing really going. But I feel confident that he's at least a capable 3-point shooter. Definitely don't think he's a Sam Hauser shooter. Assist to turnover ratio, 2.64 on the season. But here's where we start to heat up, Spoonie. Since March 3rd against the Philadelphia 76ers in 14 games. And of course, what better place to start your career off on the right foot than against the Philadelphia 76ers? But 17 minutes per game, still only averaging 6, 3, and 2, but 40% from 3, 62% true shooting. Per 36, 13, 5, and 3. And the assist to turnovers holding strong there at 2.2. So, I don't know. It's obviously all still small sample size stuff, but like yesterday, he's got the spiciness, he's got the sauce, he's got the pizzazz. Like he is a confident fella out there.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I think that might be that and the court vision are probably his 2 best attributes. Is that he tries shit and he can see the court really well and anticipates plays really well. So I will say, I think it at some points it's kind of interesting to compare him to Sam Hauser, since Hauser is like the prototypical wing, shoot, 3-and-D guy. And Baylor's just a different type of player, right? He is hopefully a solid plus shooter, but he is not a Sam Hauser level shooter. He will never be a Sam Hauser level shooter. There are very few people who are Sam Hauser level shooters. But Hauser, 5.7 assist percentage. Baylor's is 12.1. So more than double. And it just goes to like, when he drives a closeout, he is much more likely to get an assist out of it than Hauser, whereas Hauser is probably just moving the ball to keep the defense on their heels or getting into his mid-range game. And Baylor's passing is a legitimate weapon. And I'll say if you regulate for 3-point luck, so you sort of normalize for 3-point luck, because he's been super unlucky from 3-point defensively when he's on the court. Celtics are plus 8.9 with him off the court, plus 10.4 with him on the court in 200 minutes. So, and that is filtering out garbage time as well. So that is 200 real minutes. If you adjust for the 3-point luck, Celtics are about 1.5 points per 100 better with Baylor Scheierman on the court. That bodes incredibly well. For comparison, the Celtics are about 14 points better with Torrey Craig off the court. For a point of comparison.
Thank you for emphasizing that.
Yeah. So, and I think for me, the big thing with Baylor that I was concerned about 2 things. Like, he was not a Sam Hauser level shooter, so is he going to be able to do other stuff? I think the unequivocal answer to that is yes. And is he going to be good enough defensively? I don't expect him to be good, but not a disaster defensively where we can keep him on the court so we can take advantage of some of the stuff he does offensively. And I think so far, so good for Baylor on that end too.
Yeah, man, he plays so hard. I think that's a big part of this. I think is like, and I talked about this, I think recently with Pritchard's defensive development, but like clearly the Celtics staff, either it's like a cultural thing where if you're going to play here, you're going to defend. Or they're good at teaching defense. Because Hauser's improved significantly, Cornette's improved significantly, Pritchard's improved significantly. And I've seen some of the clips of Baylor working on his defense before the games. Like, if he's going to play that hard, and then get on the glass defensively as well, and then be 6'7", it should be enough to where, like, if he becomes a guy you're happy with, can be in your playoff rotation as a eighth man, that's a hit, right? With the 30th overall pick.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what we're talking about. Now, can I start to see like starter upside? Maybe not on a team that's going to win 60 games, but on a version of the Celtics that's going to have to take a step back that wins 52 games in a year or two or something like that. I think maybe you don't love the idea of Baylor starting, but the fact that he can be a secondary ball handler, I think is kind of huge for taking the load off someone like Tatum or being able to help you run some of those second units. Because I said earlier, I thought it became clear that he should have been the one running the show here. And I think maybe it's a good time to start getting into the clips here. So I wish I would have labeled these something other than Baylor 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
It's all right. We'll figure it out.
I think I can remember the plays here. But so they did this a ton, and they definitely got more creative, I thought, yesterday with like their actions because they didn't have a lot of the talent out there.
Yeah.
But Hauser sets a screen for Baylor, and Baylor grabs it from Cornette and gets downhill and has a ridiculous right-hand finish over the top of Wendell Carter here.
Yeah, man. So I think this is created by Baylor's, I'm going to call it passing gravity because I don't know what else to call it, but Carter refuses to get off Cornette until it's too late because he knows Scheierman is a willing passer and a talented passer. And if he does commit to Baylor too early, he's going to throw that over the top or sneak it underneath for an easy 2 for Luke. I actually think Wendell Carter plays it really well and forces him to make a tough finish. This is just a ridiculous right-handed finish from Baylor. So I think, there's reason to think he might not be a great finisher at the rim, just given some of his athleticism. I don't even think he's like a bad athlete, but he's not like a plus athlete in the NBA. He's probably slightly below average for his size. So like some of these more unique types of finishes, if he can really become good at those, especially with the right hand too, it's going to launch him into kind of a different level of player, I think. So good start, Baylor. I love it.
Well, Baylor Scheierman is shooting 70% from the restricted area this season on a whopping 7 for 10. So I think if he starts making these right-hand, left-hand crazy finishes over the top of rim protectors, then I think it would be safe to say that we've got a hit here. So moving to another one here. So again, like nice off-ball action here. Baylor, kind of sets a screen for Drew, who cuts back, and then Baylor then he knows to come back and then pulls it, catch and shoot from deep here. And only 1 for 7, but this is one of the more clean, like actual catch and shoot looks that he got yesterday. And feel free to take control of the plays as well.
Yeah, so I love this little play design too. I think this is called the twist action, where it looks like stagger screens for Peterson and then Baylor twists up. Movement shooting, I think that's one thing I was never concerned about with Baylor is he's never been just a pure standstill shooter. Like I think Hauser had to learn how to become a movement shooter. Baylor, he's got that unorthodox lefty game where he just doesn't care if his feet are set or not, which will bode very well because he does kind of have a low release point, so he's going to have to get it off quick. So him being able to come off screens, off these sort of advanced actions, it just adds another dimension to this team. And that is a way he can leverage his passing, too, if teams overcommit to the jump shot. Like, if they get way over the top of stagger screens, he's going to kill you with his passing.
Yeah, I think that's what he wants more than anything else. I think he loves when people are clearly overcommitting in a closeout because I think that's what he loves to do. I think that's what he's in the NBA to do, really, is pass the ball. And that football background, I feel like we saw it a little bit yesterday. From Adam in the chat here, would Baylor be starting on the Bucks? I love the optimism. No, he would not be starting on the Bucks. Gary Trent and Taurean Prince is still leading the league, top 5 in 3-point percentage, I think, this season. But I'm sure that the Bucks would, be happy to have another guy like this. All right, what do we got here? Again, more similar kind of play here. But Baylor comes around and see. Anthony Black is chasing way too hard here, and Baylor knows it. Gets downhill, and this is interesting. Gets into the body and griffs a foul, which is kind of spicy.
Yeah, I don't know how, like, I was this a foul? I'm not sure. I think it was a foul on Black, actually, now that I look at it back on the replay. So, yeah, man, like, he's strong. He's definitely strong. If he gets you on the hip, it's really hard to get around him and impact the ball without fouling him. And I just think, like, the lack of fear, like, Goga Batatse's there. He's right there. And when you look at that play when he's around the free throw line, like, I just expect the drop off to Nimi when Batatse kind of closes, just kind of like stops. And he doesn't. He just goes straight to the rim. So he's fearless and he's strong. So very good qualities in a big wing to have there. And the handle is like he doesn't have a lot of wiggle, but it's like secure, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I feel pretty comfortable for a guy of his size. Like I think the handle's pretty good. Nothing crazy about this play, but transition. Thought JD could have given it to him a second earlier, but confident. Hits a three, does a cool 3-point celebration, and I noticed someone in particular really enjoyed this. Jason Tatum really liked this one, and I don't know. Am I reading a little bit too much into it? I think that you got to respect a dude that plays with the swagger and confidence of Baylor Scheierman, and I really felt that in this moment from Tatum celebrating.
Yeah, I would not be shocked if Tatum loves Baylor because he's a good passer, which means he's going to get Tatum the ball back a lot too. And he's just kind of a ridiculous sort of looking person too. Yeah. So the fact that he's also absurdly cocky just is like very charming in a way. This was I think this is the shot to cut it within 8 too, when they went on that big run to start end the third quarter or end the second quarter and start the third quarter too. So kind of a big shot to claw us back in that game, and just kind of unconscious defender kind of in his face, just catch and shoot, buried, cash.
Yeah, had 1 foot on the line, so it was only a 2, which is annoying.
It was a 2, yeah.
But I'm going to blame JD for that one, for getting it to him just a beat late there. Sorry, JD. Yeah, there was a clip where pre-game or the day before, they were asking Baylor about his work with, I'm forgetting the development coach name. Jack Simone wrote about him recently. But they were having him sit down and watch Pritchard and Hauser tape and go through that stuff with those two guys. And Tatum walks past him and just like grabs his ear and like yanks it. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe a bit of vibe action going on between Baylor and Tatum potentially. All right. So next one here. So Baylor, Luke Cornett involved as per usual, coming off the handoff, gets downhill, slip, Luke Cornett. Dude, this is Aurora, Nebraska. 1 million touchdowns from the quarterback position right here.
So this is Chicago action, right? You got the pin down screen into the dribble handoff. We run it a ton. We run a ton for Jaylen actually, because he gets flying out of that corner. And this is the Magic don't like Wendell Carter Jr. I think realizes that whoever is it, Caleb Houston, whoever's on Baylor, does not read this at all and is not going to switch it. And Luke does such a good job of reading like his defenders. So Luke just gets out of there quick. And that's a tough pass, man, over the top of Wendell Carter with like no angle straight on like that at the top of the key is really difficult. And it is like dead ass on the money.
Dude, that's a tight window.
Yeah,
double
man.
coverage, cover 2 maybe, hitting Gronk down the seam. Yeah. I like it, Baylor.
Yes,
I like
sir.
it, Baylor. Really nice stuff there. All right, we got a few more here. So again, something I noticed as well. He's great with ball fakes, and I don't know.
Yes.
We need more sample size, but like, and I swear I've got the quarterback thing in my brain now, but like when you play quarterback and dudes that are really good with the pump fakes, and Pat Mahomes will get past the line of scrimmage and throw a pump fake and a defender will still fucking go for it. Same with Josh Allen, all these guys. It reminded me so much of that. Like, why is Anthony Black biting on a potential pass to Anemias Cater post up? I don't know. But he jumps right in the air. And then I learned all about the Pinoy step yesterday on the broadcast.
Yes. What, a Filipino, Mr.
Yeah.
Pinoy, I believe.
Apparently.
Yeah, it's like not just pump fakes, but I think like play action fakes too, where it's just about like shifting the ball to make the defender react. And Baylor's really good at that. He kind of did that a couple plays ago when he was coming off a handoff where he just like shifts the ball and his body goes the other way. Nimi's got super deep position, Jake. Obviously, that's why you have to overreact. He gets nice deep position right in the restricted area. So I think the tempo Baylor plays at is unique. I think a lot of lefties have like a weird tempo. People just find it hard to guard. So like slow decel, right around, lifts the ball. I mean, that's a fucking sick finish. I like that one better than the right-handed one because the right-handed one felt just kind of lucky. But that is like generating yourself a wide open layup with your footwork.
Like,
there we go. That's the word.
Yeah. It's like dude, then that's hard. Like
Yes.
the foot before you're going to jump, you land, you kind of decel, you fake on that step, and you have another step, and then you finish. Like, I can't do that. Can't do that. As my rec league rim finishing numbers would indicate, that's for sure. And now, again, first is first to the floor. Torrey Craig, loose ball force, Baylor, straight to the floor.
Yeah, buddy.
This is actually kind of impressive, dude. Like, he's ready to do it. And like, there are just certain people and players that are like built to be first to the floor. Jason Tatum never making this play, even if he wants to. And then, look, is Baylor Scheierman taller than Cole Anthony? Yes. Did Cole Anthony also compete in the dunk competition though? Yes.
Yeah.
Did Cole Anthony also vomit on the court earlier in this game? Yes, again. And I don't know how like you're allowed to keep playing. Are you going to make the rest of the team sick? I don't know. But then he wins the jump ball as well.
Yeah, man. I think that kind of shows like his ability to read the game and the fact, unlike Walshy, he's not overthinking things. He sees the ball on the floor. He hits the floor. I hate when people win tips on the second jump. I just find it like, I hate when that happens, but I'm very glad he won it. Not Baylor's fault. It happens, but it just, I don't know. It's just so weird to me, but nonetheless, he reads the game well. He sees the ball on the floor. He plays hard as hell and he's going to get that damn ball.
I love it. I love it. Again, more football mentality stuff from getting first to the floor, which I love. All right, so I actually don't remember what happens at this one, but
A little ghosty.
Again, another with the ball fake. Anthony Black, dude, you gotta freaking just stay down here. Another ridiculous finish this time with the left hand though, like absurd.
Shout out Muzz.
Muzz.
Thank you, dude, for the super chat. Appreciate the content, guys. Well, we very much appreciate you, brother. One of our regulars, so thank you. Yeah, I know how much stock I'm putting into this finish. I'm not sure we're gonna see this one a lot, but I think you pointed it out. The ball fake, just shift the ball, shift your body. That's the important thing. And he realizes he has JD Davison in the dunker spot. So I'm going to try to finish this instead of lay off.
I guess the only other option he could have gone is like he could have just hit the swing pass to Norris. But like that's a tough pass to make as well. But high off the window.
Finish. Yeah,
crazy finish. All right. Last play here. Baylor. Tillman in the game. Tillman's hiding, which was fine yesterday. It wasn't anything special.
Okay.
But again, the tempo, the poise, gets downhill, pump fake, decel. Just like kind of veteran-y. Great call on the left-handed stuff. Like it's very Ginobili type of timing with this sort of stuff.
Yeah, man, I don't know what it is about lefties. Apparently lefties are like naturally more creative, and I wonder if that extends to just like the way their body moves or the fact that righties are just not used to guarding them. But yeah, like the tempo, the pace, the strength, it's just really good. And the fact like Trevelyan Queen, not the best defensive player in the NBA, but it's good that he's roasting a guy who is like at Trevelyan Queen's level. Like that shows he is a level above a guy like Trevelyan Queen. And Queen's bounced around. He's sort of a low end role player. So I love that like complete decel pump fake finish off too. Like that is beautiful.
Yeah, man. I was really impressed yesterday. This little white chocolate Jason Williams vibe to the experience yesterday.
Hell yeah.
I
West
wouldn't-
Virginia's own buddy,
Okay.
Jason Williams. Yeah.
There we
Yeah,
go.
Him and Randy
Yeah.
Moss played together in high school.
Wow, what
Yeah.
a pull! Did not know that.
Yeah,
I gotta
buddy.
Find some of the. white
There's a
chocolate.
30 for 30 on it, man. Yeah, it's called Rand, I think, or Rand, West Virginia or something.
Ooh.
Great. Yeah, they played. Jason Williams was the quarterback, Randy Moss the wide receiver, Jason Williams the point guard, Randy Moss the power forward, and
That
they
is
just
sick.
dominated West Virginia. Yeah.
That is sick. I have to check that out. Put that in the content rec channel. On
I
the
will. I'll
Discords.
drop it in there. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. So that was the Baylor Scheierman deep dive. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I know myself and Spoonie did just now. But last couple of things. Jaylen knee watch continues. It has created a war within Celtics media, Twitter, or whatever. CLNS captain John Zannis going to war with the faction of Celtics Twitter today. It all kind of came to a head, I think, after the Knicks game because Jaylen played exactly 21 minutes, right on the eligibility for All NBA stuff, and it's like that's kind of flying in the face of what you said about I'm not playing to get that award. Then he's listed as questionable yesterday, which is when everybody freaked out, and I even freaked out, and because the rest of the team was out. It's like if Jaylen plays while the rest of the top six are out, that's just a terrible, terrible look. Even if they are saying that it's the right thing to do, but he's out, crisis averted, and now he's been listed out for the Hornets game. Do you feel better or worse since the last time I spoke to you about Jaylen Brown's knee?
I think worse. I don't know. He had a couple good games last week too, which I was feeling a little bit better.
Need more Phoenix Suns games, I think.
Yeah, we do. We need to play the Suns. Can we just play the Suns for the whole playoffs, please? But I just don't think he looked healthy in the Knicks game at all. Terrifyingly unhealthy in some ways. And again, it goes back to my point where it's it can't get worse by playing. And in fact, that can be good for a bone bruise to keep moving. You do not need to play an NBA game to keep your leg moving. There's plenty of things he can do to keep the flexibility and avoid atrophy. He doesn't have to play a game where people constantly blow their knees out. That is not the only solution here, people. So I'm glad he's out. This will give him about 2 weeks. I'm assuming he missed the second Hornets game. I hope he does.
Funny,
You should give him 2 weeks to figure it out. But I think at this point, he's just not going to be healthy for the playoff run. He's not going to be 100%, right?
It feels like it, but I think the conference finals are far enough away that I think we can still hold out hope that by the time we get there, he's closer to 95%. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
That's a lot of time between whenever this injury happened and got bad to when the conference finals starts. Because the conference finals, I want to say, start mid-May, 18th of May, which is still 5-6 weeks away. So that's a pretty chunk of time, plus the previous amount of time. Doesn't seem to have gotten better over the past couple of weeks. That's for sure. But yeah, I think I feel the same. Jaylen Brown has an injured knee, and that's
that blows.
Bad. That's not good. I will say, though, does a healthy, this version of Kristaps Porzingis, Jason Tatum level up make up for no Jaylen Brown? Let's just imagine there's no Jaylen Brown. Does a healthy KP plus a Tatum level up make up for no Jaylen?
Okay, real quick, I just got a text from my wife, so I have to go right after I answer this. So
Okay.
I'm sorry, Jake. I
That's fine.
apologize, but I kind of think maybe. If Tatum's making his shots and playing the way he's this year and KP is actually healthy, I think that's probably just as good of a team as last year's team, right? From put Drew Holiday aside and stuff like that. But yeah, I think it's certainly enough to get us through the first 2 rounds. I certainly think we can beat the Knicks without Jaylen. So I don't know. But I'm sorry, Jake. I've really got to run, buddy.
Go.
So.
Peace. Go.
All right.
Family
Bye, everybody.
calls, duty calls. I'll wrap it up here. Yeah. I agree. I think that it makes up for the difference. I think what is objectively true is that the team is better with a healthy Kristaps Porzingis, a Tatum level up, and a healthy Jaylen Brown in a season when we're going against a Cavs team that's going to win 65 games and a potential Thunder matchup. Like, the competition at the conference final level and the finals level is going to be a lot stiffer than it was last year. So I think in order to win against the Cavs and the Thunder, while we might have a similarly as good team with a healthy KP and a leveled up Tatum with no Jaylen, to beat those, I think you could probably still. I'm not sure I'd be picking the Celtics over the Cavs. I probably would with no Jaylen, but like, he's really important for your rim pressure and defensively on ball, giving another body, like the versatility, the rebounding. Like, he didn't win Eastern Conference Finals and Finals MVP by complete accident, even if I thought that Tatum deserved Finals MVP. Like, he was obviously awesome in last year's playoffs, and he's been a really good playoff player for the entirety of his career by the Miami Heat 2023 series. So it's, again, not controversial to say that this team's clearly better with a healthy Jaylen Brown, but I think if KP's looking as good as he's looked in the past 2 seasons, both like production and health-wise, and this leap that Tatum has taken, I think can help us get through the first and second rounds like pretty unscathed. It's going to be about the conference finals and the finals, which are still 6 weeks away, and you just hope that it gets better. And whether or not they were just gathering information about how Jaylen's knee was responding, maybe they found out that, like, I don't know, maybe the knee's actually not feeling better after playing, or you can be making it worse. There's a possibility that they don't know how the knee was going to react. So finding out that he should be resting after these games could be a good thing. It's kind of frustrating if that ends up being the case, because it seemed obvious. But again, we're not in the medical team with the professionals, so gonna leave that up to them. But yeah, that'll do it, I think, for today. Appreciate everybody stopping by, and yeah, I'll be back tomorrow for playback for the Hornets game and instant reactions, and then we'll have. I know we'll be doing a Patreon pod on Saturday Eastern time. We'll be talking 6 Man of the Year race. But yeah, appreciate you guys all for being here. Appreciate Muzz for the super chat. And yeah, till next time. Go Celtics.